Hi, I'm Kathy Schmidt, the broker owner of Schmidt Realty Group, and I'm here today with my friend and colleague, Kim Ouellette. And Kim, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your busy day and chatting with me.
Thanks, Kathy.
So I would just love to introduce you to people. Tell us a little bit about Kim, like how did you get into real estate?
Well, I don't know, I've always been interested in real estate since I was little and would check out the back of the newspaper listings when I was like 6. So it's kind of been a long time of loving real estate and just always being attracted to the industry. I actually have an education degree from the University of Alberta, and learned that teaching wasn't quite for me, maybe not teaching kids in a classroom, but that educating people was something that I was really passionate about. And so I was able to kind of marry education and real estate in one, and give my clients that educative journey throughout their home buying or home selling process. So kind of fell into it after I had my son, and wanted something that, was really going to be a little somewhat more flexible, and something that I could do to really bring both things that I love together.
Well, it really is a teaching profession. I think people, think about sales as, I hate the word, closing. We don't close anybody. We educate, we inform, we guide. And I think you're really, really great at that naturally. And your education background, I think, really lends itself to just educating your clients on their choices and then guiding them through whatever journey they choose to take. So what do you love most about what you do?
What do I love most about it? There's so many things that I love about this career. I love meeting new people. I really enjoy connecting. I think that's one of, the biggest pieces for me is that connection with others. And that's constantly what's happening in this business. And so, relationships, connections with people, that really fuels me, as well as guiding people to make really big decisions in their life. It's not something that I take lightly. These are really important decisions that shouldn't just be made without an understanding of what we're doing. So being able to help people in a way that it often is life altering is something that's, really, really important to me and fuels me. So I would say it's the people.
Yeah, I can see that in your relationships when you talk about your clients and the situations and the people that you've met. So you mentioned a little bit about, education, how you like to educate your clients. Sort of what's a bit about your process? What can people expect if they reach out to you and say, Kim, we might want to move, and how do we get started? How can you help us?
Good question. So one of the very first things I do is I like to have a quick phone call with you. I find it, it's difficult on text to understand where we're all coming from, especially if it's somebody that I don't know. So I like to hop on the phone. I know it's just a quick phone call, just so that we can explore what your goals are, at what stage you're in, because often clients, or people will approach us, but we don't know where you're at in that journey.
Yes,
Have you
that's
worked
right.
with another realtor in the past? Have you bought or sold before? Where are you at? So that way we can tailor your experience and individualize it to make sense for you, because everyone has different levels of comfortability and experience when it comes to real estate. So my number one thing is having a little chat with you to set up sort of a discovery call so that we know where you're at. And then I like to come and meet you in person, either at your home or at a coffee shop or at my office, where we can really dig down deep into what your goals are. If you've spoken with a lender, if you've got a pre-approval in place, or if you're selling, if you have dug into the implications of changing a mortgage, if you have a mortgage on the current property. So really just digging down to understand where it is that you're in the process, and then tailoring it specifically to what you need. And that often will then lead to a buyer consultation or a seller consultation. It might mean walking through your house and, getting a sense of what your property looks like and the features and attributes of it, so that then I can give you a valuation of your property. So I would say just starting where the client needs to be after we've determined what the goals are.
And that's really key, isn't it? Just starting where people are at. And often people want to start out just going to look at a house, and that's great, but really we can't guide people without understanding, why that house. And so then we can think about what other alternatives might there be. And I know you love to find creative solutions and solve puzzles and come up with ideas that maybe your clients haven't even considered. So I think that's really, one of your strengths. So what's something that people always ask you when they find out you're a realtor?
What do people always ask me? Often I get the, oh, you must have so much free time, or, oh, it's an easy job. It's not an easy job. It takes a lot of patience and dedication, and explaining the same thing in a lot of different ways. I think there's, an idea that our job maybe is really glamorous and looks like all of the real estate shows on TV. That's TV. There's some really amazing parts of the job that are fancy, but a lot of it is just working with regular people on the ground, helping people out with, showing houses with their kids in tow, and shoveling sidewalks because we have showings, and it just snowed a ton, or we've got an open house and a toilet is clogged. It's it's not what everyone sees on TV.
No,
but,
it definitely isn't.
It's not, to be honest.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. I think we have a lot more depth to our role than I think people often realize, how many hours we spend at a computer doing analysis and those sorts of things as well. But I get the same thing. People say, oh, you must have all this free time when you're not just out showing a house. Well, I'm probably at the computer looking for properties or analyzing and making recommendations to clients and doing research and all those good things, right?
So much behind the scenes. And that's good. That's our job. And so
yes. And we love it.
The fact that we make it look easy sometimes is great, but a lot of behind the scenes.
Yeah. So when you're not working, tell us a little bit about your family.
So I have a husband and I have an 11-year-old son who are my world. I also have two very small and old senior puppies. So I have Pomeranian Chihuahuas.
There they are.
Yeah. So that's kind of my family unit. I'm really attracted to the outdoors, being outside. We have a cabin that we really like to spend a lot of time at. We like hiking and kayaking, traveling, of course. Yeah.
Well, I remember there's one particular photo, and I think you've got it here for us to enjoy. This just gives me goosebumps every time I see it. And maybe tell us a little bit about this one and why it's a special photo for you.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. It's just out at our lake on the beach on Canada Day. We always do a fireworks celebration, and the kids get some little fireworks to shoot off. And yeah, it's just a really my happy place.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I know, well, you've made some beautiful memories there with your family, that's for sure. And do you have any words kind of that you like to live by? Is there a quote that you love, or a guiding philosophy, or anything like that you'd like to share?
One of the ones that sticks with me and has stuck with me for years, and I think I've shared this one with you before, is comparison is the thief of joy. And I really think that brings, it's for me, it's important to be myself, and realize that we all bring different things to the table, and that's great, and that's what makes people, right? And so I really think it's a good guiding principle in your career as well as your personal life, for myself and clients. So I really like that quote. I'm not overly a quote person, but that's one that has stuck with me over the years.
Yeah, well, I think it speaks to being authentic, and I think that's something that that you really value, and I see that you live out. So, well, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you spending a few minutes just so that I get to introduce you to people. And I know you've been doing real estate for a good long while and bring so much experience to the table. But now, if you've had a little bit of chance to get to know Kim now and think that maybe she might be the realtor for you, or you want to just explore that possibility, you can reach out. I'll put her contact information here. And you can always find her contact information on our website as well at weselledmonton.com or schmidtrealtygroup.com. So Kim, I will let you go. Get on with your busy day. I know you've got clients who are waiting for you. So have a good one, and I will catch up with you at the office a little bit later.
Thanks, Kathy. You too.
Ciao for now.